few weeks ago, I found some of my old artwork from high school, and it's from my old art classes when I was a teenager. Now that I'm the teacher now, it's time for me to see if I was really good or a prodigy or just kind of mid. We'll see if I agree with my teacher's grades that they gave me, and we'll see what you guys think about it too. So first up, we have my sketchbook, and all this is personal stuff. Nothing in this book was from a class or anything. And you'll see the difference in my classwork and this stuff as we go on. So I started out with some pen and ink stuff, really cool. Spider-Man. I was really into samurais and Japanese stuff and Chinese stuff, anything Asian. I mean, I was all in. Manga, anime, all that other stuff. And graffiti. So I have a lot of different things in here. Some good, some better than others. I'm not quite sure why I did a lot of skipping pages. This is, why am I skipping pages? What's happening here? More graffiti stuff. Cherry blossom tree. The wave. I think everyone knows about this one. Let's see what else. I ended up doing a lot of flowers toward the middle end of high school, but this is just one of the pieces and mostly ink and stuff. Hardly any pencil, a little bit of pencil here, but most of my work was in ink in this time. A little dinosaur, and never finished it. Well, wait, one more. It never really finished hardly any sketchbooks back then. And we're gonna move on to some stuff for class. And I don't think this was for class. This may have been personal. Panda pencil drawing. This one was actually from a program I was in when I was in high school. They had a program over at one of the colleges, and I was able to get in, and my teacher actually gave me a little extra credit to kind of get my grade up just enough to be able to get into the program. That's a different story for a different day. I have a set of prints. So I did this African mask, and it's my first time kind of experimenting with printmaking. So I have this. So I have these kind of little experimental prints here, and I have a relief print. I have a group of relief prints here. These are kind of cool too. Another Snoopy. I'm not quite sure why I drew Snoopy so much, but he's there. We have some gesture drawing. I know that was from class. This was from class. So a lot of the things that you're going to see have to do with me doing artwork of classmates, because my teacher had us model for each other. Like, hey, you sit over there. Let's figure it out. And you have a pen and ink piece that's not personal. This is actually for class, and I got a B on it. Another relief print of a bird. And these are mostly alright. Um, got some more of the realistic stuff where I was actually trying to make it realistic with the shading and everything. These two I got C's on, and I can see why. So I did this kind of ellipse here. Not great. It doesn't even match this other one right over here. I didn't draw through. That's probably the reason. And I think this is where my teacher had us like practice like making an ellipse. That could have been it. I'm not sure what that was. Here we have another still life from that early high school era. So I'm thinking this is a apron that probably the teacher had hanging up, and that same can from the other still life we talked about. Not great. I got a C on this project, and I can see why. I probably deserve to see. I definitely deserve to see. I probably would have had my student go back and fix some of these things before turning them in. Probably before like it was due. Like, hey, separate these things. But not terrible for a freshman. I think this freshman early high school era, I would give that a C. This overall a C. So I have a couple bonus pieces from the high school era. So this one was from 9th grade year. I was at a program at Wayne State, and I was able to do some artwork in a class on the college campus, which was really cool because not many 9th graders were able to do that. But they had, once again, the teacher had us model for each other, and this was one of the bigger drawings that we did. We didn't really do that many big drawings in like our regular school classes, but in this program, I was able to do that, which was really cool. And yeah, another still life. Once again, not great. But I was a 9th grader. I think my students now in like 5th grade could probably handle this. So my students are much more talented than I was, but they also listened, and I didn't really do a lot of listening to my teachers earlier on. But that's a whole different conversation. Anyway, we're gonna move on to another high school era. I think we might do sophomore year, kind of maybe beginning of junior. One more bonus. I got this cool little eagle here from my time over at the Wayne State program. Really cool. And you can probably tell that I basically copied another drawing, and it was my first time really using watercolor very much. I was very, very anti-painting back then. I was really scared to kind of get into it, but I was able to do it a little bit. This is kind of one of my first watercolor paintings in high school. So we're going to move on a little bit further down the line in high school. I was super into graffiti and the 3D letters, just the style of it all. These are not in perspective. It's looking crazy right now, but to me, I was like, I loved it. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that. So this is from a figure drawing class, so I guess the grading is gonna be a little bit different. It's not gonna just be just how I like it. It's gonna be like, does this look like a person? Mostly. So first up, I have some tone paper drawings of a little mannequin. So we had to use the mannequin in different poses, in different angles. Got another one over here. Move on. We got some charcoal drawings of classmates. So our classmates were kind of chosen, not really at random. I think they had volunteers model for everyone. So like for the class period, you pretty much got out of whatever drawing we had to do for the day if you were one of the people who modeled for us. Another class drawing of some of my classmates. Well, I think it's one classmate who just was turning around. And got another one right here. Back in the early 2000s, those all the jerseys and the super baggy pants for the guys were like such a thing. We were definitely going real hard on the baggy pants. Like several sizes too big. Oh man. And we got contour drawings. This was a bit of a longer pose, so we toned the paper ourselves, and I had enough time to at least attempt to get to a face. You can see a little bit right here. I wasn't very used to charcoal at the time, so I wasn't able to get a lot of detail, but it's kind of the start of me kind of getting more realistic. We have another classmate. And one more in a seated pose. Like that. Okay, this time we're back with the late high school edition. So, some more gesture drawings, and you've gotten a little bit better. You're still very scribbly, but more accurate. Pretty sure this was a contour drawing, another gesture. We've gotten a little bit better since then. This was from the movie Hero featuring Jet Li, and I was like a super huge fan of that movie. Loved it. I still love it. It's beautiful. And I did a caricature of one of my teachers at the time. He was super hard on us, so I drew a picture of him tearing up artwork and like giving somebody an F, and then like all these other kids having F's on their grades, except for I got an A+. And I did a portrait of one of my friends, and you see how I've gotten a lot better at shading, but also not enough contrast to really see all the detail that I put in there. So once again, gotten a lot better, but still way far to go. And I have another portrait in pastel of my grandmother. And now at this point, I've gotten a little bit better. This is from senior year. I know it's from senior year because I did it for a class called AP Studio Art. So we basically got to do whatever we wanted to do. Awesome. And I chose this still life for one of the things. So I did another still life. I think I ended up doing all still lifes for at least that first semester. So I painted this one. This is an acrylic. This is in oil pastel. I have another portrait. Once again, not enough contrast where it comes to the details to be able to see everything. But we're gonna move on. I have another portrait of a classmate. Contour drawing. And some of this artwork from just making there's more still lives. So this one, just some hair stuff. And this ink drawing was actually just drawn from class. So I was just looking at things from class, and I drew part of the classroom. We have part of the pictures in there. And one of the reasons why I love ink so much was because the contrast was something I could control better with pen than I could with pencil at the time. Another ink drawing of a model car, and another portrait of a friend of mine. Actually, I've drawn her like 1,000 times. And a self-portrait. I thought I was the man with the S curls. And by this point, I had gotten a lot better when it came to detail and contrast and stuff. But still, I lost a lot of detail where my eyes are over here through the glasses. But I had gotten a lot better since then. Actually, this portrait came before this portrait. So I've gotten a lot better. Had gotten a lot better when I did this one than I was when I did that one. But that's it for the high school edition of me grading my artwork. And to give it a good grade, what I'll do is I'll grade it my normal way of grading the work as a whole. I don't think I would get an A, maybe a B plus for all of this stuff, just for the lack of contrast in a lot of the work, including this one over here. This one's probably the best as far as like contrast and really showing the form of everything. But I had gotten a lot better over my time in high school, and not quite A level, but a lot of improvement since freshman year. So that's it, and I hope you guys do well in your artwork.
Back in 2002.
Okay, we got another bonus image, and this one is a still life I did my senior year of high school. I actually was learning how to use oil privately with a private art teacher who worked at the art store that I frequented. And even though I had gotten a lot better during my senior year, I still had the same issue of contrast and being able to differentiate one object from another. Like this cloth back here it's kind of weird, and I don't know if this is coming out or like what's happening in this area. Like, I know it's cloth, but I'm not sure what the deal is with all that. And my ellipses are super off over here and over here. I think this looks like a rock or a crystal of some sort, but I lost a lot of kind of the ground plane. So like what's happening over here. So if I were going to grade this one by itself, it would still probably be B minus C. Maybe in the B minus C range if I'm being generous. It was one of my first oil paintings, so I had to think about how to use the medium, and on top of that, all the drawing and value and painting challenges. But overall, I mean, it was a good effort for one of my first oil paintings.